Lisa from Apple. So advanced it puts us right back where we started.
Daphne, who longs to be alone with her very own BBC Micro.
Were you a nerd in the 1980s? If so, you may recall some pretty iconic stuff that defined the era. From groundbreaking gadgets to unforgettable pop culture moments, this video is all about celebrating the quirky and the cool antiques of that decade. So get ready for a fun trip down memory lane and revisit 20 things from the 1980s that only true nerds will remember.
Lisa from Apple. The future today at Wallet.
Apple Lisa. Launched in 1983, Apple Lisa was a trailblazer, being one of the first personal computers to feature a graphical user interface, and priced at a whopping $9,995. Its innovative GUI was revolutionary, setting the stage for future user-friendly computers. Despite its high cost, which limited its popularity, Lisa left an indelible mark on the tech industry by influencing the development of Apple's Macintosh and other future computing systems. Today, Apple Lisa is a collector's item, cherished by vintage computer enthusiasts and seen in museums dedicated to the history of computing. It remains a symbol of the bold steps taken towards making technology accessible and user-centric. From early computing with Apple Lisa, we'll now shift on to the gaming evolution with the Vectrex arcade system.
Fantastic!
Presenting the revolutionary Vectrex arcade system.
Number 2. Vectrex arcade system. Released in 1982, the Vectrex arcade system was unique for its built-in vector display, offering crisp and precise graphics unlike the raster displays that were common at the time. This made it highly appealing to gaming fans who had craved that arcade-style gameplay at home. Priced at around $200, it didn't only play games, it brought a brand new visual technology to the living room, setting it apart from its competitors. Although its high cost and the video game crash of 1983 limited its commercial success, Vectrex has since become a cult favorite amongst collectors. Today, Vectrex units and games are prized items in old-fashioned gaming circles, often showcased in gaming conventions and online collector forums, celebrated for their pioneering approach to home gaming technology. After exploring the unique display of the Vectrex, how did Max Headroom redefine digital personalities?
Am I dreaming? No. Where am I? In bed?
Number 3. Max Headroom. This character burst onto the scene in 1985, a fictional AI personality known for his strange, stuttering speech and distinctive digital aesthetics. Originating from a British television movie, Max quickly became the symbol of the burgeoning cyberpunk culture, representing the blending of technology and human personality. His popularity soared as he starred in his TV series and appeared in various advertising campaigns, becoming an icon of the 1980s media landscape. Despite not being a product for sale, Max's influence was felt across various merchandise and media, making him a cultural commodity. Today, Max Headroom remains a beloved figure in old-fashioned television memories. You can find his episodes and appearances preserved online, celebrated on platforms like YouTube, and within discussions on nostalgic media forums. From digital icons, we rewind to an era of physical media with the Laserdisc.
Who cares what the picture looks like? Then Pioneer gives me their Laserdisc player.
Number 4. Laserdisc. This technology debuted in the late 1970s, introducing consumers to a brand new era of home cinema with its superior video quality compared to VHS and Betamax. As the first commercially available optical disc storage medium, Laserdisc offered a significantly sharper image and clearer sound, capturing the attention of movie enthusiasts who valued high fidelity in their home viewing experiences. Despite their advantages, Laserdiscs were initially expensive, often costing hundreds of dollars for the players and about $30 for each disc, which limited their widespread adoption. Today, while Laserdiscs have been largely replaced by more compact and efficient digital formats like DVD and Blu-ray, they hold a nostalgic charm for collectors and cinema purists. You can still find Laserdisc players and discs through online marketplaces, appealing to those who appreciate the vintage quality and uniqueness of the format. Laserdisc offered quality, but what about interactive adventures? Up next, the adventure game.
TurboGrafx 16 is about to knock video games back.
Number 5. The adventure game. Interactive fiction games like Mystery House, released in 1980, captivated players with their unique blend of storytelling and gameplay. The games were the precursors to modern adventure and role-playing games, offering players a novel way to engage with narratives where their choices could steer the story. Priced at around $24.95, they were accessible to many, fostering a strong following amongst those who loved puzzles and storytelling. Mystery House and similar games became popular due to their ability to immerse players in a narrative-driven adventure, a stark contrast to the arcade shooters of the time. Today, these games are valued antiques in gaming, with originals being prized by their collectors and enthusiasts alike. They can also be played through emulators and on websites that are dedicated to retro gaming, preserving their legacy in the digital era. Interactive fiction captured minds, but the BBC Micro truly educated them.
The BBC Micro computer system is a world leader, and it's still growing.
Number 6. BBC Micro. This computer, launched in 1981, was more than just a machine. It was a pivotal educational tool all across the UK, designed to make learning about computing accessible to everyone. With a price tag that started around £235, it was a staple in schools and homes, fostering a generation of programmers. Its popularity stemmed from its role in the BBC's Computer Literacy Project, aiming to educate the public in the burgeoning field of home computing. Today, BBC Micro holds a place of honor in tech history. While no longer in commercial use, it lives on in museums and through the collections of enthusiasts. Online communities and retro computing forums also keep the spirit of the Micro alive, sharing software and experiences that celebrate its legacy. From educational tools to action-packed adventures, how did G.I. Joe captivate so many?
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there.
Number 7. G.I. Joe, a real American hero. These toys, relaunched in 1982, transformed action figures by offering an extensive lineup with intricate details and engaging character backstories. Each figure came with a unique file card, describing their skills and history, enhancing playtime with a narrative depth that was previously unseen in toy lines. Priced affordably at around $2.50 each, these figures quickly captured the imaginations of children everywhere, becoming must-have items for young fans of the accompanying cartoon series. Today, original G.I. Joe figures are coveted collector's items, often fetching high prices on the secondary market. They're celebrated at conventions and remain beloved icons in the collector community, with many adults seeking to recapture a piece of their childhood. After G.I. Joe's action, we now travel through the rough trails of the Oregon Trail. Number 8. The Oregon Trail. First launched in 1971, the Oregon Trail became a staple in educational gaming, teaching school children the harsh realities of 19th century pioneer life. Developed to make learning American history interactive and engaging, the game challenged its players to manage resources and make life-or-death decisions during a simulated journey across the Oregon Trail. Its popularity soared in schools across America, especially once it became widely available on the Apple II in the late 1970s. Originally part of a school curricula, the game was not sold directly to consumers, but has since been re-released in various forms and formats. Today, the Oregon Trail can be found on modern platforms like iOS and is celebrated for its educational value and nostalgic appeal. From surviving the Oregon Trail, how did the Speak and Spell make learning fun?
With Texas Instruments Speak and Spell.
Number 9. The Speak and Spell. Introduced by Texas Instruments in 1978, the Speak and Spell was groundbreaking as one of the first handheld electronic devices using a visual display to enhance learning. This innovative toy captivated children by making spelling and pronunciation fun and interactive, Priced at around $50, it was accessible and became a popular tool in both homes and schools. The Speak and Spell featured a keyboard and a speech synthesizer that could vocally pronounce the words that it displayed. Offering immediate auditory feedback, which was revolutionary for the time. While the original Speak and Spell is no longer in production, its influence persists in various educational apps and games that adopt similar interactive techniques for learning languages. Collectors and vintage tech enthusiasts alike still seek out the original models, appreciating their impact on educational technology. Learning to spell was fun, but how did early BBS systems connect the tech-savvy?
Space, so that all the people in North Wilmington that have a computer, or maybe not even have a computer.
Number 10. The Bulletin Board System. It was a computer server running software that emerged in the late 1970s as one of the earliest forms of online networking, allowing users to connect via a modem to a server in order to exchange messages, share files, and play games. Pioneered around 1978, these systems became highly popular amongst tech enthusiasts for fostering a sense of community long before the modern internet. While BBS systems were free to access, they required a personal computer and a modem, which could be a costly setup for the time. Today, the original BBS networks are mostly obsolete, overtaken by the internet. However, they're fondly remembered and preserved by enthusiasts worldwide, with some systems still operational for nostalgia's sake, maintaining their legacy in the evolution of digital communication. Hit the subscribe button and we'll keep going.
I run from the line of scrimmage. I start in the backfield and follow my blockers. What?
Number 11. Colecovision. Released in 1982, Colecovision would be celebrated for its revolutionary capability to deliver near-arcade quality gaming right to your living room. On its launch, the console cost approximately $175, a competitive price that positioned it favorably amongst other systems. ColecoVision was popular because it offered an advanced gaming experience with graphics that closely matched what was available in arcades, a big draw for gaming enthusiasts of the era. Today, the consoles are cherished collectibles, found mostly in the hands of retro gaming aficionados and through online collector sites. They represent a landmark moment in home gaming history, showcasing how far the technology has come and remaining a beloved memory for those who experienced its games firsthand. ColecoVision brought the arcade home, but up next, how did Quantum Leap mix sci-fi with history?
Then leap into action with Dr. Sam Beckett, the time-traveling crusader in Quantum.
Number 12. Quantum Leap. This show, launched in 1989, would swiftly garner acclaim for its innovative mixture of science fiction and historical drama. The show's premise, where a scientist leaps into the lives of people in the past in order to correct historical mistakes, captivated a diverse audience, particularly those with a penchant for intellectual and philosophical musings. Its unique storytelling approach, which combined educational elements with entertainment, was a key factor in its popularity. Today, Quantum Leap remains available on various streaming platforms, allowing new generations to discover its profound narratives. The series continues to be celebrated at fan conventions and in academic discussion, highlighting its lasting impact on popular culture and television storytelling. Quantum Leap may have crossed time, but did the Sinclair ZX Spectrum expand digital horizons just as widely?
And this is the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Plus 2. It's a fully operational computer.
Number 13. The Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Released in 1982, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum quickly became a cornerstone of the home computer boom, profoundly influencing the gaming industry. Priced affordably, it made computer technology accessible to a broader audience, fostering a generation of programmers and gamers. The Spectrum was celebrated for its vast library of games, which pioneered many of the techniques in graphics and gameplay. Today, it lives on through emulation software and dedicated retro gaming websites, allowing enthusiasts to play classic 80s games. Its lasting legacy is also evident in the numerous Specky meetups and conventions that celebrate its contribution to the tech world, ensuring this iconic machine continues to be celebrated decades after its debut. From computing's impact, we now explore the controversial charm of Garbage Pail Kids.
Are called the Garbage Pail Kids. Among the preteen set, they are
Number 14. Garbage Pail Kids. Launched in 1985, Garbage Pail Kid trading cards stirred immediate controversy for their grotesque parodies of the Cabbage Patch Kids dolls. These cards, initially sold for just cents each, became widely popular for their edgy humor and unique art style, capturing the imagination of a rebellious youth. Parents and educators often criticized the cards for their sometimes offensive content, sparking debates about their appropriateness for children. Today, Garbage Pail Kids have transformed from a controversial collectible into a nostalgic item valued by collectors around the world. Original cards can fetch high prices in online marketplaces, and they continue to be celebrated at conventions and in brand new card releases, maintaining a cult following decades after their initial release. Trading cards to action figures, what made He-Man a symbol of the 80s fantasy and tech?
Battle Armor Skeletor and He-Man figures each sold separately from the Masters of the Universe collection. Beastman figure also sold separately.
Number 15. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. The show debuted in 1983, captivating audiences with its rich blend of fantasy and technology. The show featured He-Man, the powerful hero in a battle against evil in the mystical land of Eternia. It quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Accompanying the series was a highly successful toy line, with each action figure equipped with elaborate backstories and futuristic weaponry, which became must-have items for children of the era. Initially priced affordably, these toys allowed children to recreate epic battles and stories, and today, He-Man remains iconic, enjoying a revival through reboots and new collectibles. Original figures are now prized possessions amongst collectors, often fetching high prices on the secondary market and can be found in specialty stores and online. Hit the subscribe button and let's move on.
Game watch. Game watch. Game watch.
Number 16. The Handheld Electronic Game Revolution. This era kicked off with Nintendo's Game & Watch in the 1980s, marking the birth of portable gaming. These devices provided simple yet addictive games that could be played anywhere, making them hugely popular amongst both children and adults. They became a common sight, priced affordably, and often gifted during the holidays and birthdays. The charm was in their portability and the novelty of taking video games out of the living room. Today, original Game & Watch units are considered collectibles, cherished by retro gaming lovers all over. They can be found on auction sites and in vintage game stores, often fetching prices much higher than the original cost due to their dreamy value. After gaming on the go, how did graphic novels like The Watchmen change comic book culture?
Buildings in a single bound. Superman.
Number 17. The rise of the graphic novel. The 1980s marked a transformative era for comics with the rise of the graphic novel. Spearheaded by groundbreaking works like Watchmen, released in 1986, these novels reshaped the landscape of comic books by introducing complex storytelling and deeper character development, appealing to a more mature audience while gaining literary credibility. Initially priced similarly to traditional comic books, these graphic novels are now esteemed as collector's items and cultural icons. Readily available in bookstores and online, often in deluxe editions that reflect their esteemed status in the literary and entertainment worlds. The lasting popularity of graphic novels like Watchmen underscore their significant impact on both comics and broader pop culture. Graphic novels brought depth. Did HyperCard bring similar innovations to multimedia?
HyperCard, what is it? It's not hyper, it's not even a card, it's not quite system software.
Number 18. HyperCard. This software application was released by Apple in 1987 and revolutionized the way that people interacted with computers. Not only was it software, it was a versatile tool for creating databases, interactive media, and various multimedia projects. Its popularity stemmed from its simplicity and the empowerment it offered to non-programmers in creating software solutions. HyperCard was included for free with all new Macintosh computers, making it widely accessible and used extensively across various fields for education and business. Although it's no longer officially supported or sold by Apple, HyperCard's influence can still be seen in modern software and web development environments. Enthusiasts and former users occasionally share versions and adaptations online, keeping its legacy alive in the digital age. From creative software to musical innovation, how did MIDI change the soundscapes of the 80s?
But this little black box can also produce music. It's a MIDI box, a musical instrument.
Number 19. MIDI. The Musical Instrument Digital Interface, or MIDI, was introduced in 1983, changing music production forever. This technology allowed electronic instruments like synthesizers and drum machines to communicate with each other and with computers, enabling musicians and producers to integrate and synchronize their equipment efficiently. It was popular because it standardized the way that devices interacted, making it easier to create complex music with multiple instruments without the need of extensive setups. Today, MIDI is still crucial in music production, with continuous updates that accommodate new technologies, and it's used in almost every digital music environment. From professional studios to home setups, it remains integral for music creators all around the world. MIDI revolutionized music, but what celestial event had everyone looking up in 1986?
76 years, the return of Halley's Comet creates an atmosphere of excitement.
Number 20. Halley's Comet. In 1986, Halley's Comet made a much-anticipated return, captivating both amateur and professional astronomers worldwide. This celestial event takes place approximately every 76 years, making it a once-in-a-lifetime sighting for many. Its 1986 appearance was particularly significant because it was the first time modern technology could be used to observe and study the comet in detail. The event sparked widespread public interest and was covered extensively by media outlets, bringing communities together to watch the comet traverse the night sky. Today, while Halley's Comet won't return until 2061, it continues to be studied all through the data that's collected during past visits and remains a symbol of the wonders that await in the cosmos. What did you think of this video, and what other iconic things did we leave out? Be sure to let me know all about it in the comments below.